So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, when I'm mixing several chemicals, do I mix them in the same tank and spray them all at once? And the answer is yes, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it today. And most importantly, I'm gonna teach you how to calibrate a sprayer so that you know exactly what you're spraying. I just got through repairing this backpack sprayer here. It was in the shop, the handle was leaking. I put a new handle on it, and I'm gonna calibrate it so that I can make sure I know exactly what's coming out the nozzle. If you know how much water's coming out of the nozzle of your backpack sprayer, then you know how much you're applying per 1,000 square feet, or at least you can do the math to figure that out. Now, the first thing you need to do is have an empty backpack sprayer. You don't want anything in it. You want it completely empty. So you're gonna get your own measuring cup, and you're gonna measure out however many gallons your backpack sprayer will hold. Mine will hold 4, so I'm gonna get 4 gallons, and I'm gonna put in that. Gallon 1, 2, number 4. Every backpack sprayer is going to have markings on the side. They're going to have a 1 gallon to 2 gallon. This one has a 3 gallon. And then it tells me 4 gallon is right here. Never trust their markings. Never trust their markings. Now that I have measured out my 4 gallons, I actually want to mark it with a Sharpie so I know exactly where my 4 gallon mark is. I'm going to measure out this 50 by 20 space so that I can spray it. Now we're just going to take the backpack sprayer and we're going to spray this whole area, making sure it's wet. All right, now we just need to fill this back up to the marks that we measured, and we'll know exactly how much water we're using per 1,000 square feet. I got a gallon measured out here. As you can see here, what is that? That's 48, 52. 52 from 128. What's that? Somebody tell me in the comments. 52 from 128. That's how many ounces per 1,000 square feet of water that you're using. Once y'all do the math for me and find out it's 78, isn't it? Is that right? 78? I think it's right. Use 78 ounces. That's a little over a half a gallon per 1,000 square feet that you're using. That's important. That's important. We're going to write that down. Now, once you write that number down, you're going to do that 3 more times and get an average. Don't be lazy. Do it at least 3 more times. If your numbers are way off, do it 4 or 5, but get you an average. A few things to be conscious of. You want to make sure you walk the same speed every time. You want to make sure that you start spraying on time and that you stop spraying on time. But I ain't gonna lie, it's hot as the blue blazes. Boy, I had to come in here out of the shade. All right, but here's our numbers that we got. We got 76, 74, and 7. Hold on, let me get where you can see it. You see that? That's my numbers right there. All right, y'all, check this math out. So in that 4 gallon sprayer, there's 512 ounces of liquid. That's what 4 gallons is, 512 ounces. I'm gonna divide that by my 75.6, which is the average of these. I'm gonna average my numbers out. I'm gonna divide it by that, right? Because I wanna know how many thousand I have in that tank. And that's gonna give me 6.77, right? That, all of this converts to this, which is 6,770 square feet is what this tank will cover. Now, it's very important to know what your tank's going to cover, because then you can mix your chemicals properly. All your chemicals are going to give you a 1,000 square foot breakdown. So you can look at them and see what it is per 1,000 square feet. Now you multiply that many ounces by 6.77. You know exactly what you're applying. So I've got the speed zone label here. I tore it off the thing just so I could show you what I'm talking about with 1,000 square feet. On this speed zone label here, I've got a low rate and a high rate that it says I can apply it at per 1,000 square feet. And it's going to go for all of these grasses labeled here on the left-hand side. But if I take, say, my low rate at 1.5 ounces per 1,000 square feet, I know my tank, my backpack sprayer, is going to hold 6.77 thousand square feet. So I'm just going to multiply 6.77 times 1.5, and that's going to give me a total of 10.15 ounces of speed zone that I can actually put into my backpack sprayer and apply on my lawn with no risk. Now you don't have to be in fear of over applying when you apply products to your lawn. A few tips when you're using your backpack sprayer to be aware of. One, always use your fan tip nozzle. I know they come with other ones in there and they look really cool. This is the best one for your applications. I know it's very tempting to swing that thing from side to side to cover more ground. Don't do that. And the reason is, when you spray, let me see if I can show you. And when you take it and swing it side to that, what you're gonna find out is that you're gonna put more herbicide up here and you're gonna get a line that looks like V's through your yard. There are gonna be places where you're putting down more herbicide, and there are gonna be places that you're putting down less. The goal is to cover it completely and the same all over. I like to hold my nozzle down. You got to find the level that you're going to use, keep it there all the time, and when you pull your trigger, as you can see, you get a fan. In this case, there's probably a, I don't know, 30-inch wide swath that's doing. You can see that. It goes from there to there. All right, and I'm just going to take that same swath, walk slowly, and it's going to give me an application. Again, you probably can't see it, but there's water on each side. It's like mowing the lawn, except with water. You can't swing your lawnmower from side to side. Don't do this either. The next thing, when you find a weed, like this little piece of grass right here, it's very tempting to just give it the business, get down there and yeah, die! Don't do that. A little goes a long way. When you're spraying a weed on the ground, you're gonna start before you get to it, spray right over it, and keep going. Don't point and spray. Pull your trigger, walk over that weed, let it get its business, and keep moving. I suggest getting something like a flow zone if this is what you're gonna use as your primary application source. It's gonna be battery powered and you don't have to worry about the pressure changing. With a pump up sprayer, that's one of the things you got to worry about, making sure you keep the same pressure on it all the time as you're spraying. If you spray less, you're going to use less water. If you have less pressure, you're going to use less water. If you have more pressure, you're going to use more water. And that's just one of the advantages of a flow zone or a battery pack backpack sprayer, that the pressure is going to pretty much stay constant all the time that you're applying the trigger. But you can do it with these. We've done it for years. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. If you can't spend $300 on a backpack sprayer, pick up one of these for like $100. You can do it.